I feel pretty strongly that there's about as many kinds of favorite scrambled eggs as there are people and eaters out there. Today, I'm gonna show you every lesson and technique I wish I would have learned in culinary school when it comes to scrambled eggs. What happens to an egg when you don't scramble it? What happens to a scrambled egg when you over scramble it? What happens to a scrambled egg when you under or over temp it or under or over time it? We're gonna show you all those things in this video so you can master your perfect scrambled egg. Let's scramble some eggs. Of the 3 dials of eggs, time is one of the funnier ones. Even at the same temperature, eggs change over time a lot. You might have seen this if you sous vide an egg, right? It'll stay the same for a while, but much longer. It'll just get thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker as the proteins denature. When you're scrambling eggs, these things happen in a matter of seconds. Furthermore, if you scramble an egg and you wait for it to be done in the pan and then you put it on a plate, it's gonna keep cooking over time as well with carryover cooking. So I'm gonna show you a little demonstration, 1 temperature, 2 times, and you'll see a big difference. I'm gonna do 375 degrees Fahrenheit, one about 20 to 25 seconds, the other about 50 seconds or so. Okay, for each of these, I'm gonna let my pan warm up. I'm gonna crack some eggs. Pretty. I like a fork for whisking eggs. So for all these, I'm gonna add a little bit of butter. 3 eggs for each of these trials. Boop. Those are pretty eggs. Good color. I'm gonna stop right there because this is like the common texture for me. That was 20 seconds. So fast. Even these will keep cooking for a little bit. 3 more eggs. 375. Butter's getting brown already. Good thing I didn't add it in the beginning. Okay, this first one was 20 seconds. Same exact temperature, same process. They're already longer than the first one. I feel like this happens all the time. You know, you go over here and do your toast. Do this, buttering on the toast, and you go, oh, the butter's hard, so I go over here to soften it. They're getting drier, tighter. That's 50 seconds. 25 more seconds. Even there's browning even too, because it's drying out, it's losing moisture. And this one, even though I cooked it a few minutes ago, it's still nice and liquidy, nice and soft on the inside. And this guy is dry and crumbly and some browning going on here. If you like them like this, you've got a time and temperature here. If you like them like this, you've got a time and temperature here. And there's a whole universe in between. So you're always trying to find this zone of what's the right amount of time, temperature, and agitation. Let's start with soft scrambled egg. Dun, 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 dun. 200 degrees, nice and low. This is only like a 1 minute, max 1.5 minute cook. We're gonna add a little bit of starch, a little bit of milk. It's gonna go a long way in just kind of adding a little bit of forgiveness to the soft scrambled egg. Whoop. This is like a really simple, classic, super soft scrambled egg. If you like them runny. Can't wait to eat these. I'm gonna set a little timer on the side here. We want a low temperature and we don't want to cook it for very long. Because we want a very soft, delicate curd here. 200 degrees, you'd be surprised. You can still overcook it. That's 50 seconds. I can see at least the starch gelling and setting up to it. Gets that like shiny, kind of clear gel look. That's 60 seconds. I don't think we need to go longer than that. Maybe a little pepper. You've got a little bit of curd. That like jiggle and bounce too. That'll stay with the cornstarch. Easy. That's freaking good. The creaminess of the starch really comes through and it's super, super easy. That's a really, really nice texture. I definitely encourage anybody at home to try this with and without starch and just do a side by side because the mouthfeel is what you need to know about there. That's soft scrambled egg. I'm just gonna show you a quick demonstration of what happens if you have perfect temperature and time control, but you don't scramble them or agitate them, which is like the technique part. And I'm gonna show you one if you stir too much. So somewhere in between these in real life is like every scrambled egg you probably want. But let's get to it. 225. Couple of knobs of butter. This is our no agitation. So I'm just gonna put my eggs in. Like you'd normally do from here, you start scrambling. Same thing on this guy, except this one, I'm gonna scramble. Like the whole time. What could go wrong? He's just agitating the eggs. So this one's pretty good. I would eat it right here. I'm gonna keep scrambling this as long as this one takes to cook. This one's setting on the bottom and it's raw on top. So if you want eggs faster, agitate them. There's one lesson. All the energy and heat's going into the bottom. Nothing's happening to the top. Taking forever to cook all the way through. That's 4 minutes. I'm gonna just turn these off. These eggs are agitated. Not agitated. This is not a scrambled egg. This is over scrambled. Huge, huge dramatic results just based on the technique. Diner scramble. We're gonna add an egg yolk to it and not starch, but the real trick is kind of in the agitation. So you're cooking it, it's still slightly warmer, 225 here instead of 200 like the soft I just did, but it's kind of like how you fold it. You don't scramble it, you kind of fold it and it's like laminated, you know? And one yolk, a little bit richer, it'll lower the cooking temperature, the setting temperature. Pinch of salt. In the little step-by-step video we show buzzing them, and that just makes them really homogeneous, which is a totally nice texture. Butter. Like a diner egg would be like on the griddle, and they kind of fold it over, and you get these like nice layers. So we're just kind of replicating that in a home pan. This is one where I would play with the temperature. 225 here, so on our egg parametric, it's a lower temperature, but that's just giving you more time to kind of play with the texture. And you're getting all these like ribbons and layers to it. So this is kind of like snappy, soft, snappy, soft. Even with an induction like this, you can get like a little whoop, flipperoo. Done. These are gonna keep cooking. Maybe this is on the side of like a chicken fried steak. It's the same time temperature-ish, except the agitation is totally different. It's just laminated. So you get these really nice, snappy, ribbony diner eggs. You can taste the extra yolk. Look at those layers. You see that? That's yummy. Snappy, creamy, creamy. That's diner eggs. I've got our precision induction burner here. I can manage to the degree the exact temperature. So first one I'm gonna do, reverse scramble, 200 degrees, 90 seconds. Second one, 250 degrees, 90 seconds. 200 degrees. Doesn't seem like it'd cook an egg. It's pretty low. This one's like all ready for Easter. This one looks like it got shot out of the cloaca high speed. So last time I did 375 and the butter was sizzling like crazy. You'll see this one, it just kind of mellow melt. That's what you'd like would dunk a lobster in or crab meat or something. Boom. This isn't gonna be dramatic. This is gonna be low and slow. You can see it's already setting. You know, you've got eggs scrambling at the bottom of the pan. Okay, 45 seconds. I was gonna shoot for 90. Maybe I don't even need to. It's not a high temperature. Coming up on 75 seconds. The eggs are totally cooking. The texture is not gonna be as like snappy though. That's 90 seconds. The low temperature, you have less carryover cooking, right? So these eggs will stay more accurate to that final result over the next 5 minutes. As opposed to higher temperature one, you gotta serve it and eat it like this, otherwise it's gonna keep cooking and get super cooked. Let's add 50 degrees temperature. The envy of all home cooks is the one-hand egg crack. Flat service, don't have to push that hard. I do this, I put my little thumb in there. I got long fingers, but then you do like, 250 degrees, that's above boiling point, so the butter's sizzling now. Big difference. I like a deep bowl, so it's like a loop where I'm folding air in. Let's see where we land with 50 degrees more in 90 seconds. They're already curdling a lot sooner. When people talk about like, oh, they like this pan or that pan, one thing about like say cast iron and carbon, usually they perform better much higher heat. So we're only at 50 seconds, and I would say this is done for me, but I'm gonna do the exact same time, so another 30 seconds now, and you'll see a big difference in the doneness of 50 degrees. So even if you're at home and you have low temperature, you're like, oh, this isn't so stressful. These eggs can't overcook because it's not like sizzling, it's not frying. But these are a lot drier and crumblier than say this one, which this one I did a while ago and it's still juicy. But that's 50 degrees difference. It's not a big difference. It might not seem super dramatic here, but what I'm trying to draw light to is even at home, when you probably have your electric burner or gas burner, at the end of the day, it's really, really hard to dial in 50 degrees. Now I'm gonna make the reverse scramble. It's kind of the antithesis of the French soft runny scramble. I don't whisk them a whole lot. I just go pop, 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 like that's it. See how there's like egg white? Still gonna put a little bit of salt. Okay, pan is hot. Here we go, happens quick. I don't want it to get brown, like brown butter. So if I see a little bit of color happening, because I'm in that 350 zone, that's melted, done. So I'm gonna do this. And you can see the egg white and egg yolk. They cook at different temperatures. egg yolk cooks at a lot lower temperature, and egg white sets at a higher temperature. So you can see it's starting to set. I just do one of these. Wait a second. Do one of these. Wait a second. Do this. I also think it's pretty, like the egg white and egg yolk. And this is where, if you have like egg white on top and you don't want it snotty, this is where like a good flip comes in handy. Okay, but this is it. I like to add cream. Kind of stops the cooking. Then I have the snappiness that I like in an egg scramble, but I also have the creaminess and that kind of like sauciness from like the undercooked egg. I love this. This is like my go-to at home. Little green. I love it. Yum. That's the reverse scramble. That's so good. I just showed you a few key lessons you can unlock for scrambled eggs. I told you about our egg parametric. Now you can master a reverse scramble, a diner scramble, a super soft French scramble, or you can invent your own based on everything you learn. So check out ChefSteps.com, check out the egg parametric, and get scrambling.
Subscribe to our channel and visit ChefSteps.com for more tips, recipes, guides, and tools to help you level up in the kitchen.